Hey agents, thanks for tuning into this one. This is my third video for the Ridgeway spread, the third build option I have. So I'm run through it. This one is once again using Gunner. This one is using the Eclipse protocol. I'll tell you why in a second. The Ridgeway spread over there, and my Siska mask over there, with the explosive seeker bud. You can see the bleed damage is not that amazing if you look at the stats alone, and the stinger I have there as well, it's on 37,000, so 40,000, 37,000. So we'll see immediately on this build is not as the skills on the bleed ticks on the skills are not as strong as the ongoing directive build I put up. I think that was the first video of the Ridgeway spread I put on. So this one basically you're rolling crit everywhere. And let me just walk you through it. The Siska, I'm using a mask, so I need to get my crit up. So 13.9 weapon damage, 4.9 crit chance, 10.6 crit damage, and they have 11.5% crit damage mod. Before I go to the backpack, I'm going to just go to the other pieces. Eclipse protocol, the 2-piece gives you 15% status effect, the 3-piece gives you skill haste and hazard protection. That's not important for this one. The 4-piece gives you indirect transmission, so your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 10 meters and refresh 50% of the duration. That's almost like creeping death basically. That's what you get on the 4-piece. It's almost like creeping death but on steroids. So you can see there I have crit chance on there. Over here I have crit damage on the knee. On the glove there's crit damage as well. They come with skill tier, all of them. So why I'm using the backpack here is of the Eclipse protocol is for System Aggrevator. So System Aggrevator amplifies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 30%. So that could actually be a skill as well, your skill and your guns, your weapons, to put it that way. So it amplifies all damage by 30%. So basically your Stinger Hive will be doing 30% more, and your bleed seeker will actually be doing more. As long as your NPCs are affected by a status. So this is almost like Browning Perfectly Wicked, but it's actually stronger than Perfectly Wicked. Perfectly Wicked gives you 18% for 27 seconds. This one gives you 30% amplified damage as long as the NPCs are bleeding. It used to be the case where you could actually only run the backpack on itself and you could get System Aggravator, but thankfully they changed that, so you have to run the 4-piece to use it. So that's System Aggravator. On the other boards I put Perfectly Wicked, and you can use Creeping Death. You don't even need to use this at all basically, but I'm using backpacks and backpack talents that make the most of the bleeding edge which you get. So once again, they have 15% weapon damage on the Ridgeways, 4.8 crit chance, crit damage 10.5, 12% crit damage mod. So bleeding edge, so as long as your enemies are within 15 meters, you hit them with your weapon, whatever weapon that is, they'll start bleeding. If 5 of them bleed at the same time, you get 48% repair. So the more enemies are bleeding at the same time, the stronger your repair is. But the distance here is the limit. You have to be within that distance. If you're not within that distance, I'll say it again, it's not going to benefit you at all. You can use any weapons, any SMG, whatever you want to, but I'm using a custom P416 with Sadist on it, and using the Scorpio for a bit of debuffs. If the NPCs get close enough to me, then I use it. Officer M9A1 with Optimus on it. I could actually use Sadist. It would be better to use Sadist, but I'm too lazy to farm for a handgun or pistol with Sadist on it. I'm too lazy to do that. So I already showed you the Explosive Seeker mine. I've showed you the Stinger Hive. Basically on the stats, I have P416 is 45.5% crit chance and 152 crit damage, which is not bad at all. And on the Scorpio is 45.5 and 146 crit damage, and the pistol is 50.5 and 137.4. So really, so I'll put up gameplay, but just to, in a bit of a controlled environment. Here. I'll just use the weapon on its own. I'm not gonna bother using the seekers and stuff. Just the weapons on their own. I'll put this 10 meters so just to be sure it's proccing. Okay, let me just do this as well. The repair is not going to be phenomenal because there's only one NPC at a time. You see, the repair isn't that crazy. Does a fair bit amount of damage. You see there's the Eclipse doing his job. They started bleeding. Let me take my armor away again. You can see this better in gameplay, I guess, but it's a bit difficult to show here. I'll try to put this on hard, and I'll try to make them bleed within the range of the bleeding edge. It's not always so easy in the shooting range. So if you see the Scorpio, are they bleeding? I'm just here to show you the repair. It has to be within 15 meters, otherwise the repair doesn't count. It's a bit difficult to show you, that's why I recorded gameplay. It's a bit difficult to show it here, what the figures are like. But guys, that's the other way to run it. Like I've showed you perfectly wicked already. You can use System Aggrevator, you can use Creeping Death to spread the bleed out as well. And we just use this. And just remember, you can't use a skill to activate Bleeding Death. So I'm gonna do that. It's not as strong as I want it to be, but this bolt has 0 skill tier on it. Has 0 skill tier on it, but this is another fun way to run it. You can do control points and summit and stuff with it, like I have in the gameplay. So this is another option for you to run the Ridgeway. You don't have to use a tank build. You can use an all-raid build if you want to. I'll see you guys in the next one, which will probably be my Lady Death variation of the Ridgeways. Thanks for tuning in.